Welcome, 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 everybody. This is Big Baby Ben.
This Juice Black, and tonight we talk WWE factions, present, past. We also got some MCW news coming up, and we also got the next wrestler lined up for Wrestling with Bros Chop Sessions.
So much going on, but there's a channel that we're gonna give a shout out to that has made this hoodie. Taylor's graphic design. Go check her out on Facebook. Go give her a follow. She does make Wrestling with Bros merch, and her and my brother do it, and they're doing pretty good actually. So go give them a look. And Judas, we also got someone that shares all our interview clips at SammyLand030 on TikTok. Shares all our interview clips, but we are going to break into this blast from the past.
Before you blast from the past, bro, I just want to say Taylor's graphic design. She's my sister-in-law, and guys, that means Wrestling with Bros merch will be here quicker than you think. Making this stuff happen because Wrestling with Bros told you we were going to get this merch rolling. And if you're interested, please just hit us up. You can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up on Instagram. You can hit us up on TikTok. You can also go to Wrestling with Bros 2023 at gmail.com. Email me. Just make it happen, guys. We want you to have our merch. We want to make it get out there, and this is how it's going to get done.
Absolutely, shout out. And then, we go to a creative episode that we haven't done in forever, and it's finally back, brother. And, we're covering factions tonight. And one of my favorite factions, and that's why I want to bring them up, Blast from the Past. I was a major fan of these guys. Total bunch of cheaters. Evolution.
Evolution, man. You had Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game. And then you had the powerhouse Batista and the young up and coming star Randy Orton, who now is just he's a predator in the WWE. Just he hunts his opponents down now in the WWE. And then you've got the man who played the game. He knew the game like the back of his hand, Triple H. Just a perfect combination of four superstars that made one of the deadliest factions back in the Attitude Era.
It started in 2003 and they debuted January 20th. And let me tell you, the debut of Evolution will never be forgotten. And like so many other factions that have debuted, some of them have made major impacts. And what Evolution did is they took all the gold.
They did.
They
Took all the
they
gold.
they made Batista and Ric Flair the tag champions. They gave Randy the Intercontinental title, and they gave Hunter the world.
Yep. Absolutely correct, brother. And then, we've seen something that a lot of fans wanted to see back in the early 2000s when we got the Shield versus Evolution, because Evolution thought they were going to stop the Shield, but they held their ground pretty good. But the young up and comers who have now become major stars themselves just absolutely proved why they belonged in the WWE when they took on Evolution.
And that match was a banger itself. I go back and remember that, Roman versus Batista. We did get that standoff in that match, and that's everything that everybody wanted was powerhouse versus powerhouse. We had Seth Rollins and we had Randy Orton, which put on many shows with the Authority. Let's not forget the Authority. I did shout out to the Authority too, one of the most dominant factions, talking about Triple H and Seth Rollins and all these guys.
Beverly
But
McMahon, Big Show, Kane,
Mark Henry,
Corporate Kane.
Corporate Kane, yeah. And then we move into my opinion, one of the biggest factions of all time. And what probably you're going to say they're goated, the bloodline, the OG bloodline.
The OG bloodline. Let's make that very, very clear. And don't get me wrong. The Bloodline 2.0 has definitely made a stand where they're at right now in the WWE. But the original Bloodline was made up with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Paul Heyman, and at one point Sammy Uso was in there as well. You know, the original OG Bloodline held all the gold, just like Evolution. They held the tag titles. They held the Universal Championship, the WWE Championship, the WWE Undisputed Universal Title when they combined the titles, and now known as the WWE Undisputed Championship. Again, getting rid of the Universal part of it when Cody became the champion.
You
But
know, you're talking about stats, and I did write these down, brother, because Roman Reigns did have some impressive stats during this time frame. 1,316 days, the fourth longest champion of all time. Now, he is the longest reigning champion since 1988.
absolutely, that's funny. That's the year I was born, and Roman Reigns, one of my top favorite superstars. Even before he became the tribal chief, I absolutely loved Roman Reigns, and I knew that one day this man would go somewhere and become somebody. And it took him taking time off, and having leukemia and getting himself fixed up and taken care of in order to become this dominant tribal chief. He came back, he was the guy, and was paired up with Paul Heyman, and he was stack him and leave him. Beat everybody in the middle of the ring and be the one. And then he slowly transformed from that into the tribal chief that we know now. And they went as far as to have him handed the Ulafala by his father and his uncle, Sika and
Anaka?
I don't think
Anaki?
that's the, maybe I don't think that's right, but it was two brothers, the Wild Samoans,
Yeah.
that came out with Roman, and they put the Ulafala around Roman's neck, making him the official head of the table. And for now, we're dealing with this battle between the original OG Bloodline and the Bloodline 2.0. For Solo Sikoa, to me, that is what he's doing is very disrespectful, because the Ulafala was not given to him. He's just claiming himself to be the tribal chief at this point. And he's not. He wasn't made the tribal chief. He was not made the head of the table by the upper elders. So for him to try to do this is just absolutely dumb. And the fact that the original bloodline, for the majority of its run, was made up of the original family, the Usos, the Fatu, Fatu family.
Yeah.
That's what they were originally made up of. And then it kind of started getting out of hand a little bit when they added Sammy in, and it was Sammy Uso. But the Bloodline 2.0 is made up of Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, which are two members of the original family. But then you have the Tongans in there, and they're not even Samoan. They're not even part of the original family, the Samoan heritage. They're part of a different bloodline in the Hawaiian race.
I mean, you just saw me sign to the camera because Bloodline 2.0 is boring. It wasn't relevant. Nobody has gave a crap about Bloodline 2.0. They even threw him against Cody because Solo can't get over. Solo cannot get over. He's not believable. He is not Umaga. He does
No,
not touch Umaga, and that's what they're trying to do. This whole wild Samoan with the spike. Okay, I believed it when Umaga threw a Samoan spike. I believed it. John
Jacob
Cena sold it.
Fatu. Jacob Fatu is more dominant than Solo Sikoa.
Absolutely, but we're getting presented. It feels like the Roman situation again, But here's the problem: Roman already had a fan base. Solo had a fan base in NXT. Then he came here and they made him lose for months.
Yep.
He is not believable as a tribal chief. Roman Reigns, is he believable? Well, 1,316 days. And let's not forget the Usos, 622 days, the longest male tag team run of all time.
Absolutely. And it was so believable, and there was so many fans that absolutely loved Roman Reigns. They came out with a limited edition title belt with the information right on it. The tribal chief, 1,316 days. They made only 1,316 of those belts. And they won't
Yep.
make any more. Like, I seen it, and I was like, I need to grab that. Before I could even think about grabbing it, it was
Gone.
gone. Gone. So that run for the original Bloodline was very believable, and I like that they are trying to keep the storyline going because I love the Bloodline storyline. But the fact that they keep allowing Solo and them to dominate Roman week after week after week is just annoying because we know that Roman is the dominant tribal chief. So hopefully Survivor Series, when we get the Bloodline Civil War in War Games, hopefully they will be able to pull off the victory and win War Games against the Bloodline 2.0.
Now, Judas, creative question here. If you're in charge, who do you feed first? Do you feed Rock to Roman or do you feed Roman to Cody?
Well, they've already fed Roman to Cody.
Right.
So it's time for us to finally get that match that everybody's been wanting, Rock versus Roman. I mean that's the only feasible thing to do here because we've already seen Cody versus Roman 2 years in a row. So they've already proven Cody winning his title and ending the feud with Roman Reigns. So why would we go back and redo that again? It doesn't make sense to do so.
Such a major fan of The Rock, and I know growing up, I don't know if you were a Rock fan, but he did help revolutionize this business. He was one of the first big mouthpieces. I before him there was Hogan and Eat Your Vitamins, brother. Don't get me started on Hulk Hogan. That's a whole nother creative episode right there. Um, but The Rock comes back at Bad Blood. There's
Yeah.
no words. There's no words. There's
Yep.
just a statement. Where do we go creatively with The Rock and the Bloodline? What WrestleMania?
We got to at some point. The Rock's got to make another return. He's actually got to say something because if you just have him show up at WrestleMania, that there was no build up. But now that he's shown up at Bad Blood, now we have to see something else happen here. Like you can't just give us that and then nothing else.
And unfortunately, I've read all these rumors over the last couple of weeks that The Rock's busy for WrestleMania Las Vegas. Do you believe it? Because that's Hollywood. That's a payday for The Rock. Would The Rock really miss WrestleMania goes the Las Vegas?
I mean, usually when they say he's busy, he's busy. And we know that The Rock is a busy man. He's a movie star. He's big in Hollywood. So if they say he's busy, it's probably because he's busy. Um, it took almost 2 years just to get him here for this situation with Roman, where he helped Roman at WrestleMania. So, I mean, he probably is busy.
We forgot to talk about one guy in the bloodline, and he's my favorite. He is a GOAT. You've admitted he's a GOAT. Paul Heyman, the wise man, one of the greatest managers of all time. Period. Hands down. Brock Lesnar. He turned Curtis Axel into an intercontinental champion when that man's career was going nowhere. The
That's Paul
man,
Heyman.
Paul Heyman. I mean, you got all this talent in the bloodline, and then you add the wise man Paul Heyman to it, the ultimate mouthpiece, the ultimate brainiac, the ultimate scheme artist, the man that can pull off anything, that tricked Brock Lesnar.
Made Brock Lesnar think he was there to help him and turned on him for Roman Reigns.
Paul Heyman, the bloodline, we've covered it. Now we move on to something that I actually have a rant about, and I want Judas's opinion, and I hope I get a Judas rant because I know he's a fan of the guy, but is he big enough? We're gonna move right into it. Damian Priest. Okay,
Absolutely.
but hear me out. Does he need Rhea Ripley to stay relevant or the Judgment Day storyline?
No. Damian Priest is an absolute dominant beast in the ring, man. We've seen it time and time again just in the past couple weeks where he's absolutely stood his ground with Gunther. And, now that I don't think they need to keep bringing him back into this storyline with the Judgment Day. He needs to be able to go on, face Gunther, and prove that he can beat Gunther without an interference from the Judgment Day. Finn Balor screwed him. Like Damian Priest had Gunther beat, and then Finn Balor screws him over. He's already defeated Finn Balor. He has nothing left to prove to the Judgment Day themselves. So the Judgment Day needs to kind of skittle along and leave Damian Priest alone. Same with Rhea Ripley. She's still involved right now with Liv Morgan. Liv has done what she has to do. She has beaten Rhea, but we keep getting a turnaround right back into the same thing where Rhea keeps getting involved with Liv. She's done it.
Not to interrupt you, Judas, but you keep bringing up Liv Morgan, and I love me some Liv Morgan too, Judas. But this Raquel Rodriguez return, has it been special, or could it have been more, or is she exceeding your expectations right now?
I think it was stupid as fuck to involve her with the Judgment Day. She's wanted to come back as a dominant female superstar. Instead, you put her as a side piece with Liv Morgan. Again, like Raquel Rodriguez absolutely could be dominant in the women's division. She could win a title. She could easily stand toe-to-toe with Nia Jax.
Easily.
But you have her as a side piece for Liv Morgan. Instead of giving her a chance to prove herself and prove herself dominant and be able to win a title, you guys just keep shuffling her to the back of the line.
And
I think this run was kind of a waste of time.
The Judgment Day, I did write down some facts, and some stats because I wanted to start adding that into the show again. I'm head host and I'm the stats guy now too. So Carlito has 17 WWC Puerto Rican heavyweight championships.
Wow.
Not including all his U.S. titles, his amazing run with John Cena, with that little Chris Masters bit.
Yep.
All his matches with Ric Flair for the Intercontinental title that are goated.
Yeah.
This man is a side piece to the Judgment Day, a side character. The return of Carlito, and this is what I wanted to really cover with the Judgment Day. It should have been bigger. In my opinion, he was just kind of thrown in there, and they didn't know what to do with him, but they wanted to sign him. But let's go back to Jade Cargill. How you booked her for months and months and months, and they dragged it out on every show. And then she wasn't even ready to wrestle. She wasn't even ready yet, so they threw her with Bianca and Naomi. what could have been different with Carlito's return, Judas?
They could have actually given him a chance to go after one of the titles. Put him into the mix with either the main championship, which he should have gotten at least once in his career. And instead, they threw him with a group that made no fucking sense.
And that's kind of my point. Does the Judgment Day make any sense anymore?
No, because it was all about judgment and making others pay when they've done wrong and that kind of thing. And then now it's just a group of what I would say hoodlums that are just running rampant and attacking people because they want to. And so, yeah, no, it really doesn't make any sense at this point.
And we're going to take a little intermission from talking creative wrestling, and we're going to go ahead and show this MCW video sent straight from the man himself, AMB, Midwest Championship Wrestling, Illinois. Check it out, guys. This will be one heck of a show, right, Judas?
You're absolutely correct. MCW, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Toy Drive, Live Pro Wrestling at Skydive Chicago, guys. December 7th. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. Tickets are, look. This time tickets looks like they're $20.
Ooh.
So they're slightly less than what they are generally on a regular show. Right there, guys. December 7th. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Toy Drive. 3215th East 1969th Road, Ottawa, Illinois. It's Skydive. Guys, you got to come check it out.
Man, cannot wait to call that card. Always an honor to be at MCW. Such a proud spot for us to be at. We love it. Much love to AMB. And then we have this new thing that we call chop sessions. And it's been popping. They got over 1,000 views. So we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna show the last session.
All right. Ben wants to take a chop from the apex, top of the food chain.
Ready? Yes, sir. All right.
Woo!
How'd that feel, big baby?
It was an honor to take the chop from me. So, Judas, why don't you go ahead and cover who the next chop sessions is?
So, originally the plan, guys, we know was for Apex to come back, prove his point against the wrestlers above him that have paved the way, that said that he didn't chop Big Baby very hard. And we promised you guys a chop session. Unfortunately, Apex will not be able to make it to the December 7th show. So we had to dig deep. We had to find out who was coming to the next show. Guys, you know him as the Black Sheep, FXB. Frank the Tank has agreed to be the next wrestler in line for Wrestling with Bros presents Chop Sessions. Big Baby is in for a treat. He thought that one from Apex was rough. You wait. FXB, the Black Sheep.
Such an honored guest that has come on Wrestling with Bros a few times. The Black Sheep, FXB, and such an amazing talent. But I'm going to tell you right now, that is a big boy, and I am going to get welted up. And I cannot wait for the next episode of Chop Sessions. And this time, my co-host, Judas Black, will be joining me. And this will be live at MCW. We don't know if it's going to be before the show. We don't know if it's going to be after the show. But at some point, we will be live with the next episode of Wrestling with Bros Chop Sessions. Almost said WWE.
WWE
we got a fan that we know very well in the comment section. He's back.
Hey, how's it going there, Neo? It's been a long time. Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. How's it going? MCW on top. And
Yeah.
before we dig in to the last faction that we're covering and then a shout out faction, we're going to go ahead and show that MCW video one more time, Judas. And also, fans, something big. We will be presenting the first 2 Hall of Honor inductees live at MCW, Judas.
Absolutely, guys. You guys found out about the first Hall of Honor inductee a while ago, and it took us a little while to get things together, and we managed to get that done and be able to present these at the MCW event is just going to be awesome. And we have now selected also our second Hall of Honor inductee, and we told you guys we're going to do these every 6 to 12 months. Whenever we feel like it's time to grab somebody up and induct them into the Wrestling with Bros Hall of Honor. So we're super excited to do it. It's going to be great. So
it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. You MCW fans are in for a treat for the first 2 inductees. And let me tell you, we cannot wait to induct them. It is an honor for us to even get ring time at MCW, and we cannot wait to present these awesome awards. But we move into the final faction before faction shout out of the night. And we're going to let Judas dig right in. The Wyatt Six.
the Wyatt Six, man, I tell you this. Every week we get mysterious videos and crazy feed, and we get. It seems like the Wyatt Six is about judgment, about calling out and taking out those who betrayed their family. Because the Wyatt Six is a family. They are a unit that is all about protecting each other. And every week we see mysterious videos. Well, this most recent week, we've seen Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, and he looked very eerily like Bray Wyatt. Like every week in and week out, he's slowly looking more and more like Bray Wyatt. And guys, it's just very eerie. The group is, in my opinion, WWE could pick it up a little bit. I feel like they're kind of dragging it a little bit. But you know what? The Bloodline storyline was the same way. It kind of drug foot before we finally got a very good conclusion at the end, with Cody finally winning a title that his dad had never had the chance to win. So I think the Wyatt Six family is going somewhere. I think it's just taking a little time. And I think that it's good to have long, drug-out storylines to keep people coming back week in and week out. So it's the Wyatt Six, man. Honestly, my favorite is Nikki Cross. She reminds me of the girl from The Ring. I can't think of her name at the moment, man. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. Soraya or something like that. She kind of reminds you of a mix of the girl from The Ring and The Grudge, and it's very creepy. But I think they did a very good job with the presentation, the opening of it. It's just a matter of us seeing the Wyatt Six doing something very dominant and making something happen. So keep on going.
Speaking of MCW, we got the MCW mom in the comment sections right now. Stacy McCormick. Hello, guys. How's it going
there, Stacy? How's it going?
Been promoting that MCW toy drive, and let me tell you guys, this is a very important event. This is going to help so much kids, and the best part about this is the MCW wrestlers are gonna come give out the toys themselves.
This is great here, brother. The St. Jude's is just a huge foundation, and it's all about the kids. And believe it or not, this is happening December 7th. December 5th and 6th, WLLR, if you guys know it, the radio station for the Quad Cities, is doing the St. Jude's Telephone Marathon, where they will be getting people to sign up to donate once a month to help out with St. Jude's patients. So it's so awesome that it is all lined up just like this. December 5th and 6th, the telethon, and then December 7th, MCW St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital Toy Drive. Brother, I will tell you this. Tonight, I went into Joann's to pick up the shirts for the MCW event. And I got up there, I rang my stuff up, and would you believe it or not, the lady said, would you like to round your money up to $17 and donate the last 94 cents to St. Jude's?
How about that?
I had to say yes. Like, I had to tell him yes. So, all right. St. Jude's, guys, a great cause.
Great cause. And, this has been such a fun little creative episode of Wrestling Bros. Don't forget, we will be having a coverage episode of MCW, which we will be announcing soon to talk about the card and talk about, the importance of this toy drive and how much it meant to Jimmy Smooth, how much it means to Oscar A and B, Stacy, everyone there, all the superstars. To us, it means so much to us to be a part of this toy drive. Can't wait to keep promoting it for you guys. But this is Big Baby Ben.
You forgot the honorary call out faction of the night.
Oh, honorary faction of the night is Nexus.
Absolutely, the Nexus, an absolutely dominant force in the WWE. They became known as the Seven Deadly Sins in WWE. The Nexus, a hell of a team, a hell of a group. Do I feel like they didn't do enough? Yes, they didn't do enough with them. But like Big Baby Ben said, honorary faction of the night goes to shout out goes to the Nexus. All right.
So one more time, the one that made our hoodies, Taylor Graphic Design on Facebook. Go give her a follow. She is making shirts, and they're doing a great job. So everybody, this is Big Baby Ben.
This is Judas Black, guys, tonight, and we are getting ready to shut down and call it a night because we're going to go right some Friday Night SmackDown. You guys